until I played a character in Digimon. I play a character named Matt in Digimon. But one day I was in the studio and they asked me to play this other character. He was only in one episode or two episodes, but his name was Mad Leomon, and he was this giant lion robot. He was worse than Broly. Like it was hard. It hurt.
Do it.
What? Did you hear this guy? I just got done telling you how hard. He's like, do it. No, I will not do it. But it was fun. It's fun, but it's hard on your voice. How many of you have ever been in an argument with someone and you're yelling and you yell so much that you kind of get lightheaded? and when you're done, you sound like this. Yeah, that's Broly and Mad Leomon. But as far as the most emotional character, without question, Full Metal Alchemist. Yes. But, you know, I love him so much. I love him. I cried so much when I was recording that show because it was so beautiful. I love that character. So he was, but as an actor, you enjoy the challenge to play an emotional character, you know? So that would be my answer. Thank you. Question? We have a man with a microphone right here. Raise your hand if you have a question. Hello. Hello there.
General Kenobi.
I love your coat.
Thank you.
I may follow you out to the parking lot and steal your coat.
Oh! Yeah!
Can I try it on?
Holy shit! Y llega, se lo pone y no cabe.
Dang, look at the guns on that guy. Maybe if I wear his coat, I will look like him.
Wait, does it fit? Oh my god.
Oh my god!
Oh yeah, I like this a lot. Oh my god, what's that? What's your question, man?
Which version of Full Metal Alchemist is better for you? The 2003 version or Brotherhood?
You're gonna get me in trouble. You're gonna make people hate me.
I was permitted to ask.
What's your answer? Which one did you like best?
I should be nice for me.
Honestly, I like 2003.
You know what? I love you. Let me tell you guys something. Most people that I ask like Brotherhood best. And that's cool. Because Brotherhood follows the manga, and it's a really intense story, and it actually has an ending, which is good. Because the first one didn't. But even though most people like Brotherhood best, I have a very, very special place in my heart for the original. Because it's like the first time you fall in love, you know? You will go on to love other people, but you will always have a... The first Full Metal is my favorite. Thank you. Here, I'll give you a coat. Last question? Are you Blair from Soul Eater? You look amazing. What's your question, my dear?
I know you watched a lot of voice acting.
Thank you. Go ahead.
I know you work with a lot of voice actors. Which has been the one you enjoy working with?
Oh my goodness, you're gonna get me in trouble again. You know what? That's a great hat. Can I wear it?
You're avoiding the question. Stop dodging the question, man.
Did you make it? It's so good. I like it very much.
You're avoiding the question.
You know what? I love so many voice actors that I've had the chance to work with. I love Austin Tyndall. You guys make sure and come back over here after our talk and say hello, okay? He and I are both, whoa, what's that? Don't look at that. Star Trek. Any Star Trek fans here? Okay, you need to get online when you get home and watch Star Trek Continues. StarTrekContinues.com. We have made 11 full-length episodes just like the original Star Trek. It was canceled. Did you know that? The original Star Trek back in the 60s was canceled and they never finished their show. So we finished it. Now here's the best part.
Nice.
It's free. It's all free to watch. 11 full-length episodes, StarTrekContinues.com, okay? And you know what? Even if you don't like Star Trek, I bet you your dad does. Or your mom, or your uncle, or your neighbor, or your school teacher. So tell them about it. As far as voice actors are concerned, I've worked with a lot of really wonderful... Now, you know, when you say work with a voice actor, do you guys know that we don't really work together? Did you know that?
Yeah.
We record all of our characters alone. Alone. We are in a padded recording booth, and there's nobody else there. So every time you hear Edward talking to Alphonse, Alphonse isn't there. I'm just doing the lines and trying to make it sound like I'm talking to someone. Or when Tamaki from Oran is talking to Haruhi, Haruhi's not there. So you could record a whole show
I mean, that's how it is.
and never meet the people that you are acting with. But having said that, some of my favorite people are Caitlin Glass, who played Winry, and Haruhi, and all kinds of great characters. I do love Todd Havercorn, Laura Bailey, Travis Willingham, Lucy Christian. Really, really great people. A lot of great people. Thank you. Question? Oh, one second.
We got a Wimby here.
To do Homelanders in The Voice.
What? Oh my gosh. You know what? People have told me they thought that was me. No. But that was a great show, wasn't it? That was really cool. Is there anybody cosplaying Homelander here?
No one.
Yeah, that was really cool though. Very cool. Very cool. Question?
Of everything, when you started to do Broly, do you got concentrated on a big, scary monster, I'm not coming to beat you up? Or you like, when you do the new one, the South Tom Broly, which one do you like the most?
Oh, I love the new Broly.
Yeah.
I really do.
You're the best in the world.
You know what? I love you. Thank you. You know what, you guys? I'm going to make a confession. Okay? I will make a confession. All these years since I played Broly, in movie 8, movie 10, movie 11, all of the video games, all of it.
Oh, wow.
Yes. In all of the Broly, when people would come up and say, oh, I love Broly, in my mind, I would think to myself, why? Like, there wasn't much story to him. You don't really know anything about him. You don't know why he's the way he is. And it can't be because there was a baby crying next to him in the crib. That's just not a good reason. So when the new Broly came out, and I heard that Toriyama, the creator of Dragon Ball, this was his vision for Broly, I was like, Yes. And as soon as I watched the movie, you feel for him. He's more real. And then you understand that his dad was pushing him and making him do these things. And he's truly, in his heart, he's gentle and quiet and soft-spoken. So I love the new Broly. My favorite scene is when he's talking about Ba and Ba's ear, and oh my gosh. I loved that so much. I recorded the whole scene, and then he's like, the director was like, okay, let's go on. And I was like, can I record it one more time? And the director's like, you don't need to. It was fine the first time. I'm like, please, one more? Because I wanted to live in that moment just one more time. But I do love you. Who's got a question? Yes, my dear. Is that a one-piece shirt?
Yeah.
Oh, sweet.
I attended to Comic-Con and I saw you and you signed me a Disgaea game. I know that you have favorite
Disgaea,
characters.
yes.
So,
Mao?
Yeah, Mao. Can you tell me something that you like about Mao or some line or...
What I love about Mao from Disgaea is that he's this evil honor student, and he tries to be really mean and evil, but he's just cute. You know, it's like some little kid that's like, I'm gonna beat you up, and you're like, oh, you're so cute. You couldn't hurt anybody. Right. Question. Hey there.
So, what do you consider as a voice actor? What's the most challenging part about your job?
You know what I learned very early on, everybody? How many of you like to sing? A lot of you. Did you notice that the more you start singing, that's a great ball cap right there. Go Steelers, baby. Yeah. The more you sing, the more you start to learn that many things affect your voice.
Yes, es verdad.
If you don't use your voice very much, you don't really think about it.
Yeah.
True.
But like the weather,
Yeah.
allergies, how much sleep you got, what you ate,
It all depends.
so many things, how much you talked the day before, so many things affect your voice. And you don't think about it until your voice is your job. And suddenly you start realizing that, oh my goodness, I don't sound the same as I did yesterday.
Exactly.
When we were recording Full Metal, I needed my voice to be clear and clean so I could do Edward. But as soon as I would do any yelling or fighting, I wouldn't sound the same. So I had to be very careful when I knew I was going to go in to record Full Metal. That was one of the first things I learned about voice acting, was there's so many things that affect your voice and the way you sound. I sing as well. I play the piano and I write music and I sing. I used to be able to sing a lot higher than I can now because of all of the Kakarots, all of the Mad Leomans and all of the Brolys, all of the fighting. Your voice gets tired after a while.
It's true.
Yeah, you have to be careful with your voice.
Hello.
Let it go, let it go. Can't hold it back anymore. I don't care what they're going to say. Let the storm rage on.
Will never bother me anyway.
Yes.
Yes, so my question is, out of all the characters you have portrayed, which one can you relate to the most and why?
Somebody asked me this the other day. I have such a very special place in my heart for Tamaki from Oran High School. I love him so much. He even plays the piano, and I love him. But I don't think I'm as smooth as Tamaki. I think he's really smooth, and I'm not that smooth. But you know what? I played a character in an anime series many years ago. Has anyone ever heard of an anime series called Princess Nine? Remember that? It was about a high school girls baseball team. And I played the captain of the boys' baseball team, who was in love with the main girl, who was the pitcher on the girls' baseball team. And ultimately, the two teams have to play each other, so it's that we love each other, but we have to, play against each other. The character I played, his name was Hiroki Takasugi. And I loved him so much. I felt such a connection to him. So much that I went to a sporting goods store.
Oh my God.
Nah.
And I had them make me a baseball jersey with the kanji letters on the front, Kisaragi High School, and his name on the back. And so it was just like the jersey that he wore in the anime.
How much
And
you
every
selling
time
it?
I would go into the studio to record, I would wear the baseball jersey so I could feel like I was Hiroki. So I really felt a closeness to that character. Thank you, great question. Somebody else? Pick somebody.
My question is, how do you start
How do you start being a voice actor? That's a great question. I wish I knew the answer.
You just
The
start.
truth is, when I was very young, I started acting because of Star Trek. I was watching that show and I loved Captain Kirk and Mr. Spock, and I wanted to do what they were doing. I wanted to tell stories that would move people. So I started going to school and auditioning for plays at my school and auditioning for my church plays.
Oh, wow.
And going into the community and auditioning for plays in the community. So I did a lot of theater. I did a lot of musicals. And then one day, about 20 years ago, a friend of mine said, "Hey, you've got a lot of acting experience, don't you? You should go and audition for this place in Houston, Texas called ADV Films. They buy these Japanese animated shows and they dub them into English, and they're looking for actors." All I heard was, "They're looking for actors." I was like, "Oh, I want to do that."
I'm sorry.
I'd never
it's
done
okay.
any voice acting.
That was-
I'd done a lot of acting. And that's the key. That's the answer to the question. How do you get involved in voice acting? Get involved in acting. Audition for plays at your school, at your church, in your city. Develop your skills as an actor first.
Actors
Voice
thing.
acting is not about voice. It's about acting. You may be able to make a lot of really funny voices. You may be able to imitate characters that you see on TV or in movies, but that's not what it's about. What it's about is playing a character in a way that moves the audience, that they can feel the emotion of the character, and that's acting. I might be able to make a lot of funny voices, but if I'm a horrible actor, then after about 5 minutes of watching the show, you'd be like, "Oh my gosh, this guy's horrible." So, if you're interested in voice acting, get as much experience acting as you can. All of the voice actors I know have years of experience as an actor. Many of them went to college and majored in theater and performance. If you're singers, that's another good thing. You know why? Because the more you sing, the more you learn about your own voice.
Yep.
The more you come to understand what you can make your voice do and how to control it in different ways. So if you're interested in voice acting, get involved in acting, okay?
You're the best.
all the intellectual properties and franchises that are out there, which one would you like to be a part of the most?
You're breathtaking. You're breathtaking.
You're breathtaking.
Te pasa, güey.
Well, I will say this. I don't know a lot of the franchises that are out there that have not been licensed yet.
Which ones?
But I would give anything in the world for another season of Oran High School Host Club. I love that show so much. Everybody that was in that show loved it. And I would love to do more of that. I told the people yesterday when we spoke that I would have loved to have been involved in Death Note because I thought it was a really great story. The idea was really cool. But Death Note was recorded in Canada, which meant that no American voice actors could be in it. But do you have any suggestions, or what's a good license, a good property that I should look at? Can you think of one? Zelda?
Zelda.
That's been around a while, hasn't it?
Yeah. Many.
Is there any new one? Fire Force? You like Fire Force? I see. I will look for that one. Fire Force. What? I have heard Demon Slayer's great. See, that one's already been licensed and it's already being dubbed.
Exactly, yeah.
See, you guys know everything. I don't know anything. Almost every role that I've played, that I went after a certain character, I would go to conventions and I would see people in cosplay. And the more I saw from a certain show, I'd be like, what is this? What show is this? What is this? And they would be like, oh, it's Vampire Night. I'm like, I want to be in that. So the more, oh yeah, Free, same thing with Free. So many people told me about, so many people told me about Reem in Free. And I wanted to play him because the fans told me good things about the show. So I learn everything from you. You tell me everything I need to know.
The community.
Very good show.
Yes.
Yeah, I've heard that.
One more question. There you go.
I love the blood seal on your shirt, man. That's a cool shirt. Why, yes, thank you.
My question is, if you could live your life as any character you play as, who would you choose?
Oh my God.
Oh, that's a good one. So muchos.
See, my first thought would be Edward because he can do alchemy, but he's too small. I want to be a tall Edward. There's no such thing. How many of you ever saw a show that I did called Tsubasa Chronicle? Anybody remember that show?
Oh, yes.
It was many years ago, but it was so beautiful. It was made by a studio called Clamp, and the animation is so beautiful. And I played this wizard named Five, and he had these magical powers, and he was very kind, and he was very soft-spoken. He never got angry, and he was, like he said, he was a wizard, and the world that they lived in was so beautiful. The animation style was amazing. But then I love Tamaki. Maybe if I could be a tall alchemist who doesn't yell and plays the piano. I'll put them all together. I'll make my own character.
And OC.
Are we done? You guys, let me say it one more time.
Yeah.
Thank you. Muchas gracias. I want you to know something from my heart. When I started voice acting, anime was very small. It grew over the years. But when I started voice acting, I never imagined in a million years that I would have the privilege to do the things that I've done and to meet the beautiful people that I've met and come to the beautiful places, God has been very good to me. And He's been good to me by allowing me to meet you. So God's blessings on all of you. I love you. And I will hope to meet all of you. Thank you.